The answer is absolutely yes for several reasons. Number one, if a lawyer takes a look at a discovery exhibit, you may have a defense that you're not aware of. For example, ask yourself, have you ever in your life heard of the defense of mutual combat? Looking in every quadrant of our brains, no, most people haven't. Well, there's a doctrine of law known as mutual combat, and certain facts have to be present. But today, not yesterday, not last week, just today before we started this interview, I was talking with someone and they wanted to plead guilty. They were really drilling down, well, how much do you charge? I just want to plead guilty. And I asked a couple of questions and I said, well, that may not be in your best interest. And I explained mutual combat. And I ended up picking up that case, and I feel pretty good about it based on what I know at this juncture. Of course, I have to see discovery. I like to have a fact pattern report. But this is a defense that person never would have known about. So number one, because there might be defenses you're not aware of because they're technical in nature and you're not familiar with them. Secondly, you don't want to suffer courthouse surprise, whether it's loss of firearm rights, being set up for a violation of probation, or the ultimate courthouse surprise where somebody goes to court, they just want to get it over with, they have something in their fact pattern they are completely unaware of as being aggravating, and the judge sentences them to a period of jail time. And then third, you'll never get the best plea bargain representing yourself. It's just not going to happen because the state knows at the end of the day, and they're trained by their office to know this, so it's not like something they learn from experience. They're trained about these things. They know that if the deal falls apart and you don't agree to what they want, that you don't stand a chance in a jury trial. I mean, that's the reality. You don't stand a chance in a jury trial. You don't know what evidence to object to. You don't know what the objections mean if you hear them coming out of the state attorney's mouth because you haven't been trained and don't have any experience in that. So there's no incentive for the prosecutor to give you a good plea bargain. This is why diversion programs were created by prosecutors, so that people would wander in overconfident, wanting to just get it over with, just take their medicine, blah, blah, blah. And boom, they created something that sounds almost too good to be true because most of the time it is. The goal is to make the sentencing as onerous and difficult as possible, because then the prosecutor can say, hey, look at me, I'm tough on crime. And that's a real problem. So if someone wants to just get it over with, that's especially when they should hire legal counsel. Now, you can save some money doing this if you explain to your lawyer, look, I don't want to make this a federal case. I just want damage control. Can you adjust the fee accordingly? Most lawyers will, because let's say, for example, you pay a fee that's here, and the lawyer gets discovery, and it's got to be someone you trust, so they're not just churning the case, manufacturing work. But a lawyer says, look, I think you really have an issue, and here's what it is. The legal fee is going to need to be here. Well, if a lawyer is charging here and you only need that much legal service, certainly talk to your lawyer about that. And then most lawyers, I think, will be willing to do a bifurcated fee in that scenario. So that's what I would recommend to someone who just wants to get their case over with, is do the smart thing and get it over, but do it in such a way that it's more like a negotiated dismissal, easy, fast, and simple, and not like some one-year-long diversion program filled with landmines and booby traps so that you violate and the elected prosecutor has one more statistic for a re-election bid.
For a free phone consultation, contact attorney Stephen Cobb in Florida at 850-466-1522 or visit his website at www.cobblawfirm.com.